Thank you, Brendan, and thank you, Your Excellencies, and everybody for attending. I remember the message from my aunt like it was yesterday. Your father is dead. We've been dreading this day for a while. My father, Wang Bingzhang, was the PRC's longest-serving political prisoner, and at that time had spent 17 years in solitary confinement. He'd had numerous health problems and had suffered several strokes. So the news of his death was hardly surprising. It also wasn't true, as I found out myself after a 30-hour trip from Virginia to Guangdong province. You see, truth and falsehood are notoriously hard to figure out in a dictatorship. Like many Chinese people of his generation, my father and his family endured unspeakable suffering under Mao. When Mao died, China opened back up to the world, and my father got a scholarship to study at McGill University in Montreal. There, he witnessed an election, a provincial election, an election that asked whether the citizens of Quebec wanted to be sovereign or whether they wished to be part of Canada. He was deeply moved. As a patriot, he believed that Chinese people were no less capable and no less intelligent. Why shouldn't they be allowed to weigh in on similar questions affecting their country? And so he gave up a promising medical career to devote his life to advancing Chinese democracy. He founded an influential magazine called China Spring and several pro-democracy organizations. He traveled the world to drum up support for his movement, especially among young Chinese people. He even snuck back into China on a fake passport to help set up an opposition party. In retaliation, the PRC revoked his citizenship, but he refused to become the citizen of any other country, maintaining that he was and always would be a Chinese patriot. In 2002, he went to Vietnam to meet with people he believed were Chinese labor activists. It was a setup. He was kidnapped, taken across the border, and rushed through a sham trial. In that trial, the regime fabricated the evidence against him. At the end of that trial, though, it issued a very real sentence, life imprisonment. The first time I went to visit him in prison, he said to me, "Times, do not believe what the regime says about me." I told him I didn't. I'd soon come to understand what my father already knew, that the Chinese Communist Party is and always will be an oppressive, totalitarian regime held together by a web of lies. The only way the CCP still holds on to power is brutality. But the human conscience will always find brutality shocking. And so their only option is to lie. I've also come to understand that the true meaning of my father's life is that the pursuit of truth and justice is a reward unto itself. The example he set for me in that regard has helped me stay strong when I might otherwise have wavered. I hope his story helps you stay strong as well. Thank you.